Hi guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. I'm McKola, he's Stephen Howson. We're just in the smoking area of a fans event with Dennis Irwin, Brian Robson, all that good stuff. It was great to see those legends here today. Great to spend some time with lots of Aussie Reds and Manc Reds as well.
Good stories as well, from Robbo especially.
What I liked was as well that he'd been well oiled up, Robbo, so he was more than happy to oblige with the stories, wasn't he?
I think oiled is one word for it.
It's great to be out here though, and I know it doesn't look like we're in Australia where we're sat, but we actually are. We're here to do the Manchester United versus Leeds preseason 2019 preview. Manchester United's second game of the tour. First game, we beat Perth Glory 2-0. It's in the same stadium, the Optus Stadium, so we'll be there at the ground. I expect it'll be much more of a sellout than last time. It was 50,000 last time, 62k capacity.
It's a Wednesday, isn't it? Which is that a good thing or a bad thing? But it is definitely a bigger name. I think there was some Perth fans there though, because every time, that time that Perth got on the attack, there was a bit of a noise that got up there. So I can't make my mind up whether I think that it's going to be more turn up for the Leeds game or not. I think it probably will be though. I
think there will be, because if you had because the tickets weren't cheap, and if you've got a family of let's say 3-4, and you've got a choice, or 12,
16, 25.
Yeah, hopefully not me one day. But if you're there thinking, which game do I go to, Perth Glory or Man United Leeds, you'd rather see it's kind of like a little bit of a derby in it between Leeds and United.
A little bit.
All
everyone's been going, gonna be some biffer. There's gonna be some biffer.
We heard that from the Brummy Aussie Red today, didn't we?
Brummy Aussie Red, who's Mrs. from Manchester. I don't know.
It's almost like me and you. That
I think it sounds like it's gonna go off though.
Now, do you think there's a chance we'll see more of the youngsters, or do you think we'll start to see more of that team we saw in the second half with the more experienced lads in there?
What have we got? Six games pre-season, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't think. I think for the first 3 games, at least, you go with everyone gets 45 minutes. And then I think you start to move it towards 60, 65 minutes for your preferred 11. I think that second 11 was more like the preferred 11. I certainly enjoyed watching that second 11 a lot more. The big question mark is Luke Shaw, but obviously we jibbed into training today and managed to see Luke Shaw. He did come out in flip-flops first thing.
Yeah, which is worrying.
But then he got involved in training and looked all right. So hopefully that's something that they take a precaution with and not risk. And obviously you're not really taking the Leeds game that serious in the grand scheme of things.
Well, they may be, because they've been gutted about not getting promoted. Leeds are falling apart again and all that. But they didn't get it, and now people think, well, we get to play United, so let's go for it. And Bielsa, I'm sure, will have them ready.
I'm sure, yeah. And Bielsa's obviously further ahead in his development with Leeds than we are with under Solskjaer. So I think from what we saw today in training, I think United are just working on that pressing game, and hopefully they've got it honed and perfected by the start of the season.
There was a lot of pressing in training today, which I was happy to see. A lot of energy, a lot of for their first session of the day. It was, yeah,
it was a lot of that. A bit of yoga, a bit of foam rolling to kick off with, and then the 3 sort of like evolutions that they went through. They were all pressing based, small groups, larger group, and then a bit of half a dozen with a keeper involved as well. What
I loved as well was the competitive edge in training. Obviously you don't get to see it when you watch it on MUTV and you got the jazzy music and you got all that stuff, but hearing the lads like, no, that weren't a goal, or booting the ball away, a little bit angry, like just getting really vexed at a training game, like that's what you want to see from these guys. They're all competitors, they're all winners, and we want them to be winners at United, and if they're arguing with each other, that's great.
If Ollie's going to implement this pressing game, the 2 most impressive players that I saw today, Angel Gomez, Jesse Lingard. Angel surprised me. Angel did surprise me. And it actually surprised me how good he was against Perth, to be honest. But I would say just keep watching out for those 2. I think
working as a 2 as well.
Yeah. Working as a 2. They were almost unstoppable. And I think their size and agility has a massive amount to play in that. Obviously, someone like Lukaku is going to really struggle trying to press the way he does all the time.
That's where we need the press to start from the front. If the defenders are picking up the ball, we need a press to start from the front. And I also saw, whilst I was impressed with Angel and Jesse and a few of the other lads, that some of them maybe need to pick up a little few things in how we're doing that. And look, we were speaking earlier about how many different managers we've had, all different styles of football, all different things, and these players are thinking like, right now, this is what Ollie wants, and hopefully this pre-season.
Young players, because young players are more of a sponge. Young players, you can download your game plan into them easier than you can with players that are 29, 30, 31 years of age who've had 15 different managers like levering them with info, where if you're just one guy, grab hold of Mason Greenwood, grab hold of Jimmy Garner and be like, this is how you play football. That might be how they play football.
Now, there's no such thing as a friendly against Leeds, is there? There's no such thing as a friendly against Leeds. But how do you see this game panning out? Do you think the crowd may get a little bit...
Biffer?
You think that the edge in the crowd might make this game turn into a little bit of a scrap?
I hope there's a bit of an edge to the crowd, because it was very much a pre-season friendly against Perth. Like the whole atmosphere was dead.
Well, a lot of Perth Reds probably support both teams, so it probably contributes to the
spectacle rather than. I mean, I don't think you never want to see United lose ever. I don't want to see us lose a throw-in, let alone a match. But you don't go into this thinking, oh, we have to win this pre-season friendly. It means nothing in the grand scheme of things. You can't celebrate if you win, and you will get panned if you lose. It's an absolute lose-lose situation for you, no matter how serious you take it. We will need more intensity against Leeds, because they've just come... This manager obviously knows English football. The intensity that you get in the Championship is ruthless, and I think it's a great test for Solskjaer's team. I really do. I think it's a great test. Not sure about the timing of it. The timing would have been nicer for this to be our last game of pre-season rather than AC Milan, but I like the fact that it's a test.
Manchester United versus Leeds in Wales would have definitely been some biffer there.
There would have probably been a plenty biffer, mate.
Do we need to start stepping up a gear, though, as these games go on? Because you see, like, the game particularly the first half against Perth Glory, it wasn't very impressive. And it's kind of like, I mentioned it in my review, like that first day back at school when your arm hurts, you can't write, you forget. It's like the same kind of thing for football.
At school, so long time. Year 2000, I left in school.
Yeah, I've been to the year 2000.
Yeah, mate, it was nearly 20 years ago.
It's not the song that I just sang, it's definitely
old. Yeah, to answer your question, I think we do need to step the intensity up, but it's not too much of an issue. Look, I want to see a good performance. I want to see good sequences of play. I want to see those patterns that Ollie's trying to do.
Did you see enough of that?
No, I didn't. I saw some of it. I saw it was obvious that we're not trying to cross as our primary way of putting the ball into the box. We're trying to work it in there. We're trying to get to the byline and pass it back, which I think is a much more high percentage shot and a much more high percentage chance. I think it suits our forwards better to not be crossing, and that's why I think someone like Lukaku and Dalot probably not going to have too much of a future.
I'm not texting my missus or anything. I'm just making a note of something you just said there, because I believe you just said you feel like we're not trying to cross.
I did.
What does that say for Rom? Now, we've seen him in training today. He was there in training.
I think he's fucking going. I think he's going.
Happy with that? Because remember, me and you were on big old BBC Match of the Day doing all that stuff, saying...
A year before he came.
Saying, we want Rom right now.
And I did.
We even kind of hinted that he may be better than Kane, which I don't think we'd say now.
I literally did a video saying he's better than Kane. Because the stats were showing in certain areas he's better than Kane. Kane is not a clinical striker. What Kane is a striker that creates a lot of chances and then puts a lot of chances away, but he's actually not clinical. Tony Marshall, way more clinical. Aguero, way more clinical. And sadly, depending on how you feel about it, Lukaku is way more clinical than Kane, apart from last season. There's not been a lot in it. You're talking a couple of percentage, but Rom gets a rough deal with this. And he gets a rough deal partly, in my opinion, because Manchester United don't create enough to have anything like the amount of chances you need. Now, if I told you that Tony Marshall and Golden Boot winner Sadio Mane had the exact same conversion rate, you'd have been like, but they did. Yeah? Ronaldo had the exact same conversion rate as Rashford. But Ronaldo had more shots than Rashford, Marshall and Lukaku combined. United do not create enough chances, or didn't create enough chances, for any single one of our strikers to be a 20-goal-a-season man currently. Now, you look at how many shots Mason Greenwood's managed to get off in the last 2 games that we've seen him, Cardiff and Perth, and you go, well, that might be changing, because him alone has had a lot of shots.
Well, you mentioned Mason Greenwood today. We were here at a Q&A with Dennis Irwin and Brian Robson, and Dennis Irwin was asked about which of the youth players do you think will come through, and he said, for me, Mason Greenwood, you look at him, 17-year-old, full package, got it all. He hasn't scored yet, but believe me, when the goal comes, they will keep coming. A lot of people comparing him with Robin Van Persie, which I believe I can see why, but I think just chill out a little bit for now. He's 17 years old.
Do you know, the comparison is not because they're a similar player. at all. But Dave, he's got a run like him, and he's got a body shape. He holds his body like he's got. If I said to you guys, Robin van Persie had a jog.
Yeah.
And it was a Robin van Persie jog. Like if you saw a silhouette of him, you go, "That's Van Persie." Well, Mason Greenwood is like they've gone copy paste and have that. But in terms of how he is as a player, he's more like what Ronaldo was at United. In terms of like he's both-footed, he'll come inside and out. He does more step overs than you fucking want him to. He's going to shoot when he could pass it. He's a selfish player, and that's not a dig. I like that. I want my forwards to be selfish. I don't want my forward, and even though I dug Harry Kane out for doing this. But I don't want my forward to get one-on-one with the keeper and pass it. I want my forward to just fucking think he's going to score. When did you see Ruud van Nistelrooy pass it in those positions? And that's what the standard has got to be.
Ruud van Nistelrooy would be fuming if he won 4-0 and he didn't score. And those are the kind of goal scorers we need. And that's a bit that was frustrated with Romelu Lukaku last season. I felt he hid too much. And I don't want to see that from him this season, if he is at Manchester United. Now, do you think, obviously pre-season is used a lot more for fitness and everything like that, and working on tactics in training when we get these double sessions and all that, do you think anyone can actually change the manager's mind and like force themselves in? If you think we've got 11 to 18 key senior first team players, do you think any of these boys can really push themselves into that and start getting starts in the bigger games?
I thought Axel could.
But then we've obviously had the news that he may likely be off, although some say we're waiting on that decision.
I think it was getting a little bit misquoted by that. Like, I didn't say he's going Villa. We literally got told. We both sat there, weren't we? And we got told
by a very reliable journalist.
Yeah, he's going on loan because we was just having a general conversation about the game, weren't we? And he was like, he's going on loan. And I was like, what about him? He's going on loan. Okay, he's going on loan then. And I said, where? Villa. And he was like, it didn't seem finalised. I spoke to someone last night, and they was like, I think Bournemouth are in the mix as well as Villa, so I don't think it's as clear cut as what I think some Villa fans like just fucking said he's coming to Villa.
A few of my Villa fan mates from school messaged me like, "So is Axel on?" Yeah, because like Villa pages were sharing that Full-Time Devils had broke this news, which was simply just Steve mentioning a conversation he had with a journalist.
It wasn't entirely true, yeah. I mean, but I'm gutted about this, man, because I looked at the performance that Axel put in, and I was like, there you go. That's how no one's took their opportunity, like we said on the podcast the other day, like Marcus took it. Axel was doing what you can do as a defender, because you can't really take it like a forward can, but he put in a sort of assured leadership-led performance that you just go, Jesus, how long has it been since we have a centre-half that did that? Like, Lindelof's out injured. Make us play for it. Like, we don't know if he's going to be back for the Leeds game or not. We don't know when he's going to be ready. We don't know anything really along those lines. So you're like, well, there you go, Axel. That's your opportunity. That's how you get opportunities. You have to take someone's place. No one ever gets it given. It has to be tough.
Now, do you think maybe the willingness to let Axel Tuanzebe leave Manchester United, go on loan, is partly to do with Maguire? The club being more confident that Maguire is about to come in, because surely if Maguire comes in, we've got Lindelof, who would probably be his first guy that will play with him, and then you got Bailly, Smalling, Jones, Rojo's still about. So you've got those four players. Now
Can I just say, we watched Rojo in training today.
He's a lovely Argentinian. I love him.
Argentina. He was everything that you thought Rojo would be like in training. You have no idea what that means, and I love that. Right? He was everything that I thought he would be in training. Like, he's a fucking savage, isn't he? Yeah. He was... Who did he 2-foot?
Jesse.
No, yeah, there was someone else he 2-footed as well. I think it might be Matic.
Yeah.
And you just think, he don't give a fuck, does he?
Have you seen that video of him on Twitter where he always steps into the halfway line and shoots? Steps into the halfway line and shoots. And the first time he got the ball against Perth Glory the other day, he stepped into the halfway line and shoot. I love that absolute mental.
Nah.
He's a great guy. But the thing is, he's not actually a bad player. He's just never fit.
Never fit. And he's mental. Listen, I got time for mental. I thought him and Bailly was excellent when they played together as a pairing. I thought it worked. I thought they fucking terrified opposition forwards. Now, yeah, was it like the most assured backline you've ever had? No. But it was carnage. And I've got time for carnage. I'm a guy that lives in carnage. So I liked it. But I think that you're not going to see... You've got 4 internationals there-ish, with Smalling, Jones, Bailly and Rojo. And because they're internationals, they're going to be on a fat wedge. You can probably do with losing half of those. Who that is, I'd lose Jones and Rojo, to be honest.
Jones.
Yeah, but you could also make a case that they're the better of those two. So it's tough, but I think 2 of them need to go, and you've got to start bringing in the likes of Axel, possibly Tim, although I think his time at United might be up.
That injury is not going to help him, is it? Trying to come back from that injury, trying to recover. But then it might help him because they can't get rid of him, and he's going to be in the squad. And if a player gets injured, obviously we don't hope that happens. But
when Bailly went down, was it the last game of the season? Or the second to last game of the season, he just saved his United career there. Which is mad, isn't it? But it's kind of true sometimes. You're not going to sell an injury.
That's how Rojo's still here. In fact, that's how Rojo's still here.
Probably is exactly how Rojo's still here. I could tell you something about Rojo. I nearly did then, but I won't.
We'll save that for another day and another video. Aussie fans, though, like we've been in here a few nights now because obviously both games were at the Optus Stadium, so it's using the same club as a supporters bar and everything. Mate, we walk in here, beer after beer, drink after drink.
I know, man,
they know how to party down here.
An early night? Can I have an early? We're having an early night tonight.
Mate, I landed at 8 p.m. I was like, Steve, I need some food before I go to sleep. Can I meet you somewhere for some food? He was like, yeah, I'm at this bar. It's got food. A good buffet on. All right, cool. I'll come down. Mate, I didn't get home till 4 o'clock.
No comment.
I think I'm a bit jet lagged. That's why, Trish, if you're watching. Anything you know about Leeds apart from that Bielsa's a mad, crazy spy?
I got time for that.
You seen someone climbing the poles today?
Yeah, I think United were all joking about someone spying on training from Leeds.
And they let us in.
Yeah, I thought. See, people think that you can't play that system for the entire year. I think you can, and I think like what Ollie's trying to do, maybe, but I think you can, and I think that they're going to be a threat this year. Without going full Jamie Redknapp on you, they are going to be a threat, and I think they're going to come and try and test themselves against what Manchester United are. They're going to go, look, we want to be a Premier League team. There's a pretty ordinary Premier League team. All right, no, we're top 6, but let's show what we could do. So I think they're going to. I think they're going to be one of the favourites to go up, and I think they're a very difficult task for us. So I'm looking forward to the game. Not the Biffa though. Biffa.
It's a bit weird, yeah, travelling 10k miles, as you said, to get slapped.
Mouth.
What's your score prediction? I genuinely think it's going to be like a draw. I think Leeds are going to be more at it than us because it's so early in our pre-season. I don't know. I haven't been keeping an eye on what they've been doing, how long they've been at pre-season, but I think they're going to be so much more up for it. As you said, they're further along in their development under the Bielsa. Their players know what he's doing. We're still trying to learn those kind of things under Ollie. So I think it could be like a score draw, maybe even Leeds grab a shock win.
I think goals because obviously what we saw against Perth, they parked the bus. Which is a little bit disappointing in pre-season friendly, and I think people in the stadium probably deserve more than you parking a bus against us. If he was scared about losing 10-0, all right, get it. But like, let's show something. Leeds are not going to park the bus against us. They're going to try and play. They're going to try and hit us. And I would say I'd be happy with like a 3-1, something like that. You know, it's comfortable, but there's goals at both ends, and they're going to be having way more shots than Leeds did, than Perth did. I'm pretty sure of that.
I agree as well. I'm going to go for a win, but I wouldn't be surprised to see us.
Mate, it's pre-season. It could be 7-4. Who knows?
I hope so. It'll be a good one, especially for the last game in Perth before we head to Singapore, and we will be heading to Singapore. So make sure you're keeping it locked to Full Time Devils, keeping it locked to him on all of his different stuff, not just on YouTube. We're both on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, covering everything. So make sure he's on Grindr as well. Trying to find a fella out here. Any luck yet?
No.
Argentina. But yeah, guys, that's been a preview for Leeds. It's weird doing a preview for a pre-season game, but we know that's what the people want, and we like giving the people what they want, especially
yes, we do.
Argentina. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, as all great and not so great YouTubers say, and keep it locked to Full Time Devils in a bit.